Hello, I am Sanjay Joseph. Basically, I am a maths teacher and I've been teaching maths for now quite some years. You can say 3 decades almost. I was teaching maths in one of the very famous schools of Patna, that is St. Michael's High School. And I was there for almost 24 years and 8 months. And then later on, I took various administrative jobs like being principal of different schools. Uh, at Bishop Scott Senior Secondary Girls School, then Open Minds, and then Jaipuri. At present, I am vice principal at St. Karen's High School. But children, maths is my forte, and teachers, maths is my forte. And at a lot of time, people try to ask me because they know that I have enjoyed my maths teaching, and students have done well when they have attended my classes, and they have always been always be given they have given testimony about they enjoyed my classes. But I wanted to share with a lot of teachers that how you can make this subject more interesting, and there are a few tips I have gathered as far as my experience goes on, and most probably it has to be basic ingredient of a maths class. The six tips which I have collected should be the basic ingredient of any maths class. So before I start, I will just like to ask you a question of mathematics. Which two different numbers have the same product and the same sum? Maybe you can put your thinking cap on and then you can attend this, because basically this video is more for teachers. So anyway, did you understand my question? Which two different numbers have the same product as well as the same sum? So the first tip is exactly what I did just now, is that have a switch on and switch off technique. That means when children are there to receive you in their classroom, they already may be distracted. It is not their fault or something that they don't like your class, something like that. It can happen to any class, any scene when you enter and you are the person to be addressing the audience type, you can say the children, and you have to engage them. What happens, they may be busy, distracted, because they might have come back from the library, or might be from the PT period, or might be they had a very good Hindi class, or they have come back from their auditorium watching some event. So what is happening, they're distracted, or might be from home they've started and come, it is the first period, so they're distracted, they're talking to each other. In that time, what happens, if you do not draw their attention, then what will happen, your whole purpose of getting them gravitated towards you will not work. So that is why I told switch on and switch off technique. You throw a question to them, and as soon as you engage them, you see they will start getting attracted towards you. What I have written, well, when you enter, you need to do something to get ordered attention towards your kids. Kids are active and have active and 24 into 7 hours working brain. So you can ask a question or two. Are you still thinking about those two different numbers which have the same product and same sum? Maybe later on you can do that as teachers. So this is where, I used to throw a few questions maybe related to the subject or maybe something else, so that the children start talking to me, or trying to give answers, getting excited about giving the answer first, and then what happens, the whole attention was towards my purpose of letting them get involved in mathematics. Now next, so explain different concept when you are next tip will be like, when you're throwing the question, then what happens, you have to give them little time to, all right, little time to, for example, suppose I'm teaching bottomless, all right, so I do not go straight away. No, I don't think that there should be a prefixed programmed approach of a classroom. Already you have a prefixed scenario of a student sitting at particular places. Nowadays I don't know why some schools, they have designated places for children. I think so it should be moving, dynamic, interactive, and exchange of sheets should be allowed. All right, and most probably you should also entertain this by some way or the other trying to shift and mix children. And then suppose bottomless I am teaching, so I tell them, okay, now uh, something innovative in front of them I put, and I say, okay, put over here some plus sign to or whatever mathematical operation sign to make this 100. So instead of telling about bottomless, I feel after one or two classes of explanations of bottomless, then straight away let their mind work. So what happens, you can say, you can put something like something over here, uh, something over here, something over here, something over here, and you can try to get the answer. I don't know whether this is the answer or not, but just I'm telling you that try to get place in some mathematical science and try to get this as 100. So explain the concept through innovative ways and encash the competitive human brain. Children get excited when challenges are thrown to them. Even for simple addition, like even in primary classes, when I go, I don't tell, okay, 6 plus 2 is 8. Once the children have understood that, then I tell, what are the combinations to get 8? So can you tell two numbers which will sum up to 8? So 5 and 3 are 7 and 1 are 6 and 2 sir, and maybe in the senior classes what is happening, they will say 10 and minus 2 sir, and so on. So what is happening, you are trying to explain them the concept in some innovative ways. Trust me, even the simplest of additions of standard 1, 2 and 3 may have something hidden which is new for the children. Say for example, correcting through addition, addition corrected through addition. Suppose I am doing any number, I'm putting over here, and then I'm adding 7 and 6 is 13, and 5, simple addition. Now I'll say, if answer is right, here also add all the digits, you will to the single digit you'll get 7. Let us try. 7 and 5 is 12, 12 and 6 is 18, 18 and 7 is 25, and 25 means what will happen, single digit, 2 plus 5 is equal to 7. So see what is happening, you can check your addition if it's right or wrong. So this is the innovative ways which you can bring in your classroom, whether it is primary class or it is high school or it is plus 2. Some innovations from your side is needed to let the children get attracted, let them put their thinking cap on, and then they can also come out with something good. Anyway, let us go to the next thing. That means when I give that bottomless problem, I will leave it up to them that they try, they start thinking. I will still think of those two different numbers whose sum is same as the product, as their product. Wait, that you can try later. Let us go to try to understand. Students need time to think. Thinking happens only when we have time to struggle. We need to teach kids to be tenacious and courageous, to persevere in the face of difficulty. You know what happens, by our experience we know that when we are in difficulty we find out a way. All right, isn't it? Even maybe I'm giving a very large example. The COVID thing, when it happens, what happens? The research went on, vaccination came in different ways, people tried, and ultimately we won. And therefore, when there are when we think, when we are struggling, so try to inculcate this thing in this habit, that let the children try to get time to get to the solutions. We at times nowadays tell, I don't know why we call math sums as problems. So we tell that give problems and then they will give the solutions. Anyway, we go ahead and then we see exactly here I wanted to come to, that teachers should never try to be the answer key. Be patient, allow thinking, encourage participation. You may get more than one solution to your surprise. Yes, children can come and ask. I'm telling you that sometimes you say yes to children. Next thing is, first thing was that you have to throw a question, the switch on and switch off technique, and then give time children to think, be innovative, and then say yes. Yes does not mean that saying yes does not mean approving something wrong, but yes, allowing a child to attempt in different ways at times, failing to solve, but then making adjustment to the methods and reaching to the solution. So, if, for example, I go back, all right, I go back to this question. I think so. This is correct, isn't it? But a child says, "Sir, you this way you told a knee operation. I was trying to think it can it be done by multiplication or something? If I place insert, can it be done by multiplication? Might be. So no, you sit down, this is the only possible way. No, then what happens, the child gets discouraged. But in mathematical problems or sums, there are many ways out of problems. Like here, the child, you can tell, okay, you want to put in multiplication also. Okay, I don't know if this is correct. 8 into 9 is 72, and then 7 and 6, 13, 5, 18, 22, 25, 27 and 28. So 72 and 28. You know the answer. So what is happening? Yes, see, yes, yeah. You try your way, you have your way, you try it. Let us see if through your method we can get into the correct answer or not. I'll again come back to this through a sum later on. But yes, I'm again saying yes does not mean approving which is something which is approving something wrong, but allowing a child to attempt in different ways. Next one is have fun in that classroom, but have the fun mathematically. Mathematically means what? That yeah, suppose you try to do something which appears magical to the children, but yes, you try to tell them that when you're studying mathematics, it is going to ease things, especially in calculation. You should try a few tricks with them, like somebody telling, okay, 22 into 5, you say half it and put a 0. So the child say half it means 11 and put a 0. So how did you do? It's actually multiplied by this. I changed in my mind as 22 into 10 by 2. So that means what happens? 22 by 2 is 11 into 10, 110. Like that. The various things which you can do. Somebody telling you 53 into 47. So you tell, okay, it is 2491. Now the child is getting surprised. How do you do this, sir? So fast. You say it's very simple. You know what happens? We don't have to shelve our learnings, because straight away this is looking at as 50 plus 3 and 47 is 50 minus 3. So a plus b into a minus b, I've learned a square minus b square. That come out of use. 50 square is 2500 and 3 square is 9. So you subtract a square minus b square is this much. So have fun and mathematical fun. Try to surprise the students, because people, if you love them, you have to give them newness. And every day, every class, most of the times I've tried to be new to my children. And that is why it has not been boring. The class has been boring. Children may be waiting for your classes. Teachers, trust me, if you put like this, whether you're 5, 7 or 10th or 12th, or any place, be innovative, be updated, and be a good student yourself. I've written a question over there, let me see. Okay, so what did I mean to say, and why we should be innovating, and why we should be innovative? There is a reason we should be innovative. How many 3 digit number are divisible by 7? This is in our boards, in 10th boards, especially in India. This is in 10th board arithmetic progression. Children have been asked how many 3 digit numbers are there, and you see the at times in certain places. They start with, okay, the first 3 digit number which is divisible by 7 is 105, and then next number, and then we form an AP, and then we get the last number 994 divisible by this, and then we place a at nth term is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. We get the value of n, that is 128. But a child during the process says this way, then what you will do? This is the first 3 digit number. If I divide it by 7, so 30, so 28, and then the child says, that means there are 14 numbers from 0 to 100, even 99, because the remainder is 2. Divisible by what? Divisible is by 7. And then we have largest 3 digit number, and then we divide it by 7. What does this mean? 7 ones are 7 and 2 29, 7 fours are 28, and then what happens? 119, and then 7 twos are 14, and I get 5 as a remainder. So that means till 999 there are 142 numbers divisible by 7, and till 100 there are 14. In between, how many numbers are there? So 142 minus 14. So this is 8 2 1. So 128. So this whole process you can do it in an innovative way. I'll further proceed in that to explain a few 10th questions or trigonometry questions. Let us see. For example, in our most of the books, the explanation of finding h or x, and this is the situation, maybe height and distance question. Now, what children are taught sometimes, and that is why teaching them in a set pattern and a prefixed mind with with your lesson plans and all, where you even tell how which way you are going to teach, is ridiculous. You can have a plan of what you are going to teach, but how you are going to teach is a little freedom which you need. And I think so little freedom should be allowed. And most important factor of how you teach is very, very important. What you teach, the second part, because yeah, you have to go through the syllabus. In the syllabus you also have to update yourself. Now, let us have a look over here. Like, why did we study geometry for? Normal solution is in triangle ABD, tan 30 is equal to h divided by x plus 20, and then you get tan 60 is equal to h divided by x, and then you equate this and that. Here straight away you can say that since this is 60, this is 30, so exterior angle property will make it 30 degree. So ACD becomes an isosceles triangle. That means if this length is 20, so this length is also 20 meters. All right. So you get the base. Now cos 60 base is to hypotenuse is always 1:2. That means if this is 20, this should be 10. All right, or you work out cos 60 is equal to x by 20. So 1 by cos 60 value is 1 by 2. So you get this 10, and then you apply sine 60. So root 3 by 2 is equal to h by 20. So therefore, what will happen? Let us see root 3 by 2. Let us see, this is 20, isn't it? So now what will happen? Sine 60. So root 3 by 2 is equal to x, h by 20. So h is equal to 10 root 3 meters. So that means in normal such cases, I'm talking at 30-60, or when this is, and this, when you can use the exterior angle property, why not go through that? That is why you to be a good student is very, very important when you're teaching mathematics. Say for example, but then when you do it this way, how does it help? It doesn't stay here. Many people will say, oh, okay, it is one of those methods which we can use. No, learning does not stop anywhere. Now this makes you a good teacher, because then you will say, let me trick my students. Let me trick and let me find out the best student in my class. What you do is, quietly one day when you take a mock test, you give this figure. Now half of the children will run, and many of your friends will start going to the principal telling, tan 15 value is not to be studied in 10th, and this is something else that our teacher has given, and not nice. He wants to show off this and that. I mean, how the child has to find 15 degree value tan 15. But what is happening? This is simplest of the question. If this is 15, this is 30, this is also 15 by exterior angle property. If this is 20, so it is isosceles. Now this is 20, isn't it? So now the height will be sine 30 is equal to h by 20. Now sine 30 is what? 1 by 2. That means h by 20. So h is equal to 10 meter is the answer. So this actually is a 1-mark question, a 2-mark question, but this is high order thinking skill question. Now, many of your rivals will start telling, oh, and then there will be people telling you, oh, he's showing up. Then what happens now? Why children later on, why my teaching was appreciated. Probably I enjoy this importance because I know that I have done justice to mathematics and mathematical teaching, and I have done justice for very sure to my students. My being in the classroom had in my mind that I should try to let children understand that mathematics is a subject, and people who later on only have to study till 10th, or maybe later on I'll not take mathematics not my cup of tea. No, every day the cup of tea which you are drinking, you're paying the cost, you're trying to evaluate the loss and profit. If you are into any type of business, a job, you are using mathematics is your cup of tea. And teachers make sure that most of the children, when they're learning mathematics, it becomes their cup of tea, whether they take engineering or medical or anything in straight away a specific mathematics line, doesn't matter. Every field, journalism to lawyer to entrepreneurs, everything everything involves mathematics. Mathematics is not a subject. Mathematics is inside us in our daily life, and therefore be a good math teacher, be the best math. Oh, by the way, you're still thinking of those two different numbers whose sum and product is the same. Okay, I'll give you the solution now. Yeah, at times you have to finally give your verdict about a solution. So here is the same. 1.5 into 3 will also be equal to 4.5. That means 1.5 and different number whose sum and product is the same. There may be more combinations possible. In the comment box, all yours. Once more, thank you to all of you in India or abroad that inculcate these things. Enjoy teaching mathematics, and let mathematics be fun. Let it be the game which we play. And as we celebrate life daily, we celebrate mathematics. Thank you.